Eschmann holds a master's degree in social work from the University of Illinois at Chicago and worked in schools for 6 years. Reese is the author of Etta Invincible, a middle grade contemporary fantasy novel, and the Home for Meow chapter book series. When she's not writing or taking naps, Reese enjoys rock climbing, baking, and making movies with her family. Reese, it's yours.
Hello, everyone. I'll be reading from the section of Etta Invincible where our main character, Etta, is discovering that there might be something magical happening in her world for the first time. Mr. Cole's heavy foot is on the gas now, and the bus bounces by the train station. The elevated trains take people all the way downtown, where the buildings fit together like Tetris pieces, and the people walk so fast that they're always bumping into one another. I lean my head against the window and think about Invincible Girl in the sky. She'd know exactly what to say to the new kid beside me about the fog and the storms and the whoa. A black rocket shoots into the air above the south side of the train station. It explodes into tiny pieces that scuttle against the sky like so many beetles. They crawl over the city in a long, glittery line that twists into a loopy E. It hovers in front of the clouds, written in the sky like an invitation. I look around the bus, but none of the other kids are staring out the window. Just me and the new kid and Louisa May Alcott, the dog who's squirming and panting in the boy's arms. I turn back to the E. Maybe it's for me. E for Etta. My heart beats fast, not a thump-thump like a normal heart. It's a 1-2 punch straight to a comic book villain's jaw. Whack, whack. Of course, the E could be for lots of other words. Excited, exceptional, elephants. Either way, it's strange. No, it's a word bigger and mightier than strange. Magical. And it wasn't just part of a comic panel playing out in my head. It's really here in my world. I've never seen a firework like this, not even that time Mom took me to Navy Pier on the 4th of July. They don't sell this sort of thing in Indiana, where people in my neighborhood go to buy cheap sparklers and bottle rockets, since you're not allowed to buy them here. Unless there's a secret magic warehouse in Indiana. Come to think of it, no one's ever told me there isn't a secret magic warehouse in Indiana. It's the sort of thing that happens in books. I know some people might tell me, come on, Etta, you're 12. Surely you don't believe everything that happens in books. But I do. I'm determined to. The shivery feeling I got when the bus drove through the fog comes back. But this time it's more like all the nerves in my body are standing up in excitement, telling me to get closer to the fireworks. I'm not sure if that's a thing that nerves can do, but I still feel like the E is calling me. This is it, my chance for an adventure. There's no better story inspiration than magic in the sky. Now I'm going to skip ahead to when they follow this magic and discover the magical train that the book's adventure is on, and they see it for the first time. I look around, expecting the world to have changed now that magic has filled the sky. There should be people with cameras and little kids jumping up and down, and a news reporter asking me what I think the E stands for. But Eleazar and I are the only people standing on the platform. The board with the train schedule says there's not supposed to be another arrival for 20 minutes. We're caught in the empty space between the last train and the next train. But there's magic in the empty space. I can feel it. A dark shape appears on the tracks, surrounded by rolling purple clouds. My feet feel a little wobbly. It's an early train, an eerie train. The shape grows larger. My mouth falls open. The train pulling into the station is massive and impossible and colored more brilliantly than any comic I've ever seen. The tracks beneath it turn from rusty brown to bright gold as it approaches, and a sparkling purple cloud hovers above the engine. More fireworks escape from the smokestack. They're much smaller than the ones we saw earlier. The first fireworks were an invitation written in the sky for us to see. This burst is a note passed in class when the teacher isn't looking. It's secret and special. I shiver as I take in the rest of the train. The front is covered in pipes and rods and chimneys that reminds me of trains from old books about traveling west. But nothing else about it looks like any train that's ever existed, now or in old books. The cars are made of sleek black metal, glittering with swirling swaths of color. I look behind me, half expecting to see that an odd-colored rainbow is responsible for the reflection, but the sky is empty. When I turn back to the train, the colors fold into one another, more like a painting than a reflection, and they grow across the bottom of the train like bright, giant flowers. The sort of magic that happens in books is right in front of my face, made of steel and color and smoke instead of tiny printed words. It's real. My heart flutters in my chest. I blink slowly, waiting for the train to vanish each time my eyelids close. A shiver of wonder moves from the tips of my fingers to the thwack, thwack of my heart pounding in my chest. It only takes a moment longer for worry to mix in. Of all the kids who might get the chance to stand in front of a magic train, why me? Why us? I watch as the thick purple smoke comes out of the smokestack, pumping into the sky, surrounding the train and the station. It looks odd. There's dark, gloopy tar coming out of the smokestack, too. Dad would say that the engine needs a tune-up for sure. Maybe that's why the train wanted us here. It needs our help, but I don't even know how to change the tires on my bike. Beside me, Eliezer's eyes are wide and excited. He pushes a big piece of dark hair away from his face and holds his messenger bag steady at his side. The train is pointed toward downtown, but it doesn't move. Of course, a magic train doesn't pull into a stop just to sit there. It's waiting for passengers, and it called us. Louisa May Alcott's tail wags excitedly. We walk down to the only entrance, a big black door on the very last train car. It slides open. I take 2 steps back, almost tripping over my own feet. Eliezer does the opposite, 2 leaps forward. A purple carpet rolls out the door, covering the concrete platform with a soft, bright path. Louisa May runs forward and sniffs it, pulling Eliezer behind her. He holds the yellow leash with 2 hands to keep her from slipping away. Invincible Girl would follow them, but I'm too nervous to move. I don't think Mom would be happy if I missed school because I was riding magical trains around town. But this is what I wanted, isn't it? I can't write about adventures without having them myself. I finally know how to fill the pages of my comic with magic and fireworks and a train on golden rails. All I have to do is walk up to that carpet and I'll see what's on the other side of the wall in my brain. I'll be able to write my story. And so that is it. And you'd have to read the rest to see what happens. And then I just want to point out also that my giveaway is for a swag pack for the book. It has some beautiful art by the comic book artist Gretel Lusky. And so the pack includes like a print of some of her art. Thank you all so much for listening.